Alright guys, we're going to take a look today at how to make a box and whisker plot. So I've got some data from one of our classes. I asked you guys how many pets you own, and this was the data collected from 4th hour. So first we always want to make sure that our data is in order, and to do that you just want to be careful, especially with your homework. You want to cross off each of the data points as you write them down in the right order. That way we'll make sure that you have the same number of data points. So first thing we identify, that's kind of the easy part, that's the lower extreme and the upper extreme. And that's simply just your lowest value and your highest value. So 0 and a 5 for that one. In terms of the quartiles, we need to figure out what the median is first. In the median, that just means your middle number. So as we look at these data points here, it always helps me, instead of just going one from the bottom, one from the top, next one from the bottom, next from the top, if I know I've got like 25 data points, I'll cross off like 7 or 8 from the bottom and then 7 or 8 from the top, and then just kind of work my way in. So let's start with 8 from the bottom here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you can see we've actually just got 3 numbers left here. So cross off that one, cross off that one, and then our median, our middle number, is 2. Okay, and then from here we need to calculate the lower quartile. And the lower quartile, remember, that's just basically the median of the lower half of the data. Now when we have just one number as our median like this, we actually throw that number out when we're going to take the middle of our lower half. So let's start with 3 from the bottom, 1, 2, 3. 3 from the top, 1, 2, 3. And again, notice that I did not count this one. Okay. 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top, and that leaves me with 1 in the middle. So that's my lower quartile, is 1. And then we do the same thing from the top. Again, noticing we do not count this median. We throw that one out. We have 3 from the bottom, 3 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top, and we are left with 3 for my upper quartile. Okay. And then guys, the only thing we really have left to do here is to construct our number line. And on your homework, there's actually number lines right at the bottom of the paper, so you don't have to construct your own. I'm just kind of sketching this one out here, so it doesn't have to be terribly precise. First we mark our lower extreme, and I'm going to put a 0 above that. Lower quartile is here. I'm going to put a 1 above that one. The median is at 2. I'm going to put a 2 above that. The upper quartile is at 3. And the upper extreme is at 5. Okay, now it's not really typical to number these, but it does help when we have larger values, when it's kind of hard to distinguish what that value actually is. So last thing we do, we make our box in the middle that joins the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So that's the box, and then we attach the whiskers on the ends like that, and that's it. And again, just realizing that each of these intervals here contains 25% of our data. So 25% of the kids have 0 to 1 pet, 25 have 1 or 2 pets, 25% have 2 or 3, and 25% have 3 or more, or 3 to 5, I guess. So anyway, that's how you make a box and whisker plot. Hope that one helps. If you do need some help tomorrow, you can maybe come in and ask Mrs. Gottschalk. I won't be here because I'll be getting married this weekend. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you Wednesday.